unto you, my Lord, all for you. And if I ask right, you surely will give. I praise you, I praise you, Lord. I praise you. Glory to your name, unto you I give praise. I praise you, Lord. I praise you, I praise you, Lord. I praise you. Glory to your name, unto you I give praise. I praise you, Lord. I praise you. I praise you, Lord. I praise you. Glory to your name. Glory. Unto you I give praise. I praise you, Lord. I praise you. I praise you, Lord. I praise you. Glory to your name. Unto you I give praise. I sing.
Welcome, everyone. It is your girl, your co-host, Cynthia J on the Cynthia J Show. Welcome. Chime on in, chime on in. Come on now, come on down. Hey, today it's Friday. Yay! I got my little bell. Today is Friday. Friday of grace and favor. Friday for some new beginnings. Friday to get ready for those who are out here ready to party. I am your girl, your co-host, Cynthia J on the Cynthia J Show, holding us women accountable, not excluding the men. Holding us women accountable, not excluding the men. Come on in, come on in. My God, I can't believe it's Friday. Your girl would have been up here earlier, but I'm telling you, it's been a busy week for those who know the kids are back in school. I know we had a good time with our family during the holiday season, but the kids are back in school. They are ready in the making. They trying to get their life together and get things done. But one thing I definitely can say to you is that thank God that they back in school safely, and let's continue to keep them lifted up in prayer, because a lot of the things that is going on in the world today, I'm telling you guys, it's been ridiculous. When I say ridiculous, it's been ridiculous in the past few weeks. So many things have been going on. So again, for those who just chiming on in, I'm your co-host, your herbalist, your birthing doula, your inspirational healer, your sister from another mother, your sister that come to give you the truth and nothing but the truth on the Cynthia J Show, holding us women accountable, not excluding the men. We are on season 3, episode 27. Yes, episode 27. And today we're going to go over a few current events, but today's topic is really going to be on will everyone reason with what you're putting out. But before we get into that, let's give a prayer shout out to the family members the parents who lost their children in Minnesota shooting. Let's also give prayers lifted up to those who was on the airlines that turned around and had some issues. Again, let's shout out love out there to those who are still continuously losing loved ones, and let's lift each other up in prayer, guys. I mean, so much is going on, like you heard me already say it. I keep repeating it because it's time that we continue to keep each other lifted up in divine ancestral prayer. So y'all see me doing something at the same time. I want to make sure those who are on my Restream Live is catching this too as well. So I'm trying to get it together here. But I'm just thankful today is Friday, putting it out there. And I'm just thankful to be up here to be able to talk to you. Like, seriously, I'm thankful for that. So, with that being said, again, for those who just chiming on in, I'm your girl, your co-host, Cynthia J, on the Cynthia J Show, holding us women accountable, not excluding the men. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share. If this is your first time, if you get disconnected, you can definitely check me out on YouTube at Cynthia J22, at Cynthia J22. So let's make sure we letting everybody know we chiming on in, chiming on in. Yes, yes, yes. Let me do this little text here because people don't like to be on time sometimes. You know, it's bad enough they lagging you, but yeah. So yeah. So anyway, with that being said, while I'm doing this here, how was y'all week? How was your day at work? How was it? How was it? How was your family? Let me ask you that question. How is your family doing? Because sometimes we get so caught up and want to know the gossip and the news and stuff that's going on that we sometimes don't have people to ask us, how are we doing? How are you doing? For real. So with that being said, as I'm asking how you're doing, what are some things that you can just ponder on right now to just to be grateful for? To be grateful that your ancestors have allowed you to see another day. God has allowed you to see another day, and your ancestors spoke on your behalf too. The divine, the most high. I mean, so many things that's out there, seriously. But with that being said, I'm just gonna shoot this out to other people while we getting ready to get on the topic because again, like I said, I had to handle some stuff, letting other people know what other people are doing, and they should be on time. But you know how that go. You know how that go. Anyway, enough of that being said. Again, let's give the shout out to the family members who lost their children in that shooting at the Catholic Church. Did y'all hear about that? I mean, what is going on with the minds of people these days? Seriously, what is going on with the mind of people these days? Is people minds that gone? Are they just that mentally gone? I'm trying to still figure this out myself because who just go? I mean, did something happen to this young man? Did something happen to this young man for him to just go to a Catholic school, to the church, and shoot up some people? Seriously, it's just ridiculous. And it's very hurtful because I can feel the hurt of those who have lost their loved ones, who have lost children. And something like this, you send your children to school, and you send your children to school so that they can get an education, to get an education. And not knowing that that might be the last time your child will be seen, that your eyes will be on your child. So, with that being said, again, let's keep those family in prayer as we are lifting this nation with the mental capacity of people of where their minds are at. I mean, this is just sad. I don't even know what to say or how to say it or how to go about it, but just to let you guys know that it is stated that the suspect is unalive after I'm sorry, not Minnesota, Minneapolis Catholic school shooting. Let me correct that. The Minneapolis Catholic school shooting of 19 victims. Let me read this article and then we're going to go on the topic. It says at least 17 people were injured and 2 children are dead after the suspect dressed all in black opened fire during a Catholic mass being held at the Catholic school in Minnesota. in Minneapolis. The suspect who not just, as they said, the suspect who not yet been identified, who was unalive. The motive is not yet clear. And they're saying that the police chief is still trying to figure out what's going on. Said that in a news conference that the gunman, who is in his early 20s, guys, early 20s, was carrying a shotgun, a rifle, a pistol, and took his own life. He took his own life after shooting through the window. The mass shooting unfolded during the time of the school, and which serves students kindergarten through 8th grade. My God, y'all hear that? Kindergarten through 8th grade, and this was on the 27th. The police department posted this on Facebook, so you guys might be able to find us on Facebook. This again happened at the Anukashkin Church. Anukashkin Church. And again, the man was dressed in all black, and that young gentleman took his life. So again, let's keep the family in prayer. Let's keep the children that lives have been unalive lifted in prayer, that their spirits will be settled, because this is very, very serious, very dangerous, very hurtful. And I can't even imagine. The father, one of the parents who a father made press conference, and again, regardless of race, whatever, children are children, and it starts at home, and something like this should never have ever happened. So let's lift them up in prayer. On other news, our dear brother Snoop Dogg, Uncle Snoop, Uncle Snoop, concerns over the LGBTQ plus representation in children movie. Now, this was actually a pretty good topic and discussion, and I'm going to read this and you give your thoughts. It stated that he shared his thoughts on the representation on children movies. The rapper candidly spoke at length about his concerns regarding the subject during a recent podcast appearance on the debate. It was also said that his appearance, when he mentioned on the podcast, was regarding to movies geared towards a younger audience. What you see is what you see, and they're putting it everywhere, he said. And it's true. This is very true. I'm going to get a little further in this. He also states that, as he further went into revealing that he took his grandson to watch the Angus movie and was shocked to see the main character's parents being, and this is coming from the article of celebrities. And before I go any further, let me make sure that I make this said, because sometimes, when you on these social media platforms, they want to flag you. So I have to make sure I make this be known. TikTok and all social media, this copyright disclaimer is under the Section 107, the Copyright Act of 1976. Alliance made for fair use for purpose such as criticism of comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, research, nonprofit, educational, and personal tips being used to balance in the favor of fair use. Got to make sure I put that out there, because they be wanting to get a little funky up on here on TikTok and all other social media platforms. So anyway, as Uncle Snoop mentions, he noticed this, and he was likely referring to his wife, referring to Alicia and her wife, Kinko, who has a son. And he explains right here as his concern, he said, they just said she had a baby. They both women. How does she have a baby? It had a cuss word. He said it messed him up. He's like, I'm like scared to go to the movies now. This is his personal, he's saying he's scared to go to the movies. He said, and y'all throwing me in the middle of the mess that I don't have an answer for. And I'm going to tell you where he's heading at in just a second. He said further, he said it threw him for a loop. And what part of that was the movie? His grandson asked him a question. So he said they're going to ask questions. His grandson asked him a question. Now, I don't blame him on how he feel about this. How do you know, and how can you go about, answering a question to your grandchild? Like, seriously, you go into the movies to watch a kid's movie with your grandson, and all of a sudden some crazy stuff in there that your kids are not exposed to, because in your home, you do things in decency and in order. What that means is that you know how nature naturally designed, how God, the divine and creator of creation, which is all the above, man, woman, all these things, because God has no gender. However, you just wondering, why is this happening? And so with that being said, I can understand how he feels. So now you have a grandkid, you got to explain the situation. At the same time, as a grandparent, you could kind of understand why, okay, should I mention this? Should I let my child explain this to my grandson? Sometimes you don't want to step boundaries as just a grandparent too, but him being a man, hanging out with his grandson, man to man, be like, you know what, look here, this is what this is. And now he got to explain it. And this is a topic that I always talk about. This is something that's very combative out here in the world today. And this is something also that is too early for kids to be exposed to. And I'm like, come on now. Why would you put that out there? It's like it's forceful now. It's very forceful. Children should not be exposed to nothing like that from an early age on up. Now, granted, children get older, they get experimental. Because children are, when we say children, that means teenagers on up until they're 18. And the thing about that is, children from the time they are kindergarten, elementary, until they leave out of middle school, they shouldn't be exposed to that. But they are, because some of them live in that kind of environment. But for something like that, the parents need to talk to their children. What stays home is at your house. You come to school to learn, to be educated with knowledge, presentable knowledge, to be sociable, to learn things of natural order. Now, granted, someone may be like that. However, I'm like, this is just too much. I can't even put it into words. I can just tell y'all just too much. Because to me, for something like this, you're exposing children early, and now they don't know what they want to do. They don't. How can a child know what they want to do at that age? They still learn how to wipe their butt. Yes, I said it on here. They still trying to learn how to wipe their butt and get the crust out of their eyes, and learning to brush their teeth and clean their tongue and wash their body. I have to be honest with that. I'm not able and not allowed to sugarcoat any of that. Teenagers don't even still know how to properly take care of their hygiene. So how they know what they want to be? And when they like that, that means that when they become adults, then that's who they, if that's who they want to be, and that's the choice they made, and that's what they are when they're adults, okay, cool. You do what you do. What you do over there is what you do. That's your business. But at the meantime, children are here to learn, not to be exposed to the dynamics of a life that others have not even explained yet. And it's sad. So I don't blame him for saying it. I really don't. I really don't blame Uncle Snoop, Doggy Dog, for speaking out on this. So this will kind of blend into the topic of today's episode 27. Will everyone reason with what you're putting out? And this is a great topic to talk about. Will people reason in what Uncle Snoop was putting out? Will people reason on the things that is divinely right and in order to what you say and what you're doing and how you're doing things in decency and in order? Will everyone reason with what you're putting out? And to be honest with you, sometimes people will not. People want to do what they want to do. Simple as that. They don't care if it hurts your feelings. You heard me say they don't care. It's a difference when dealing with people that they don't care and deal with it doesn't matter. In this situation, Uncle Snoop is like, well, shoot, y'all didn't care. So now I gotta let you know it doesn't matter what you put out there, what you think. This is wrong. This is wrong. And a child should not be exposed to any of this too early. And also to read on, he states that he said, as he couldn't really give an answer for something like that, he said light years faced a ban in several countries. He was referring to the movie because he didn't realize it until afterwards. This movie, again, received a ban. Yep, in several countries, including United Arab, Jordan, Malaysia, Oman, Qatar, many more because of the scenes of showing a same-sex couple kissing in a kids movie. Again, this goes with the topic. Will everyone reason with what you're putting out? And this is one thing that shouldn't have no reason. It should be banned here in the U.S. And why? And this should be a big question to ask ourselves. Why is the U.S. so open? Yes, we put this title out that we are the land of the free, the job opportunities and everything to express your culture, your religion, and so forth. We're so open that we just let anything happen. The United States used to be as in God we trust. How can we be in God we trust and allow things like this to occur? This is why other countries laugh at us. They think we a joke. The people that's sitting in them chairs, on those council chairs, in the House of Representatives, the Congress, the Senate, they laughing at us. They laughing at Americans. But one thing I know, they can't laugh at my people, and they shouldn't laugh at Joe's. However, we got some of them that's intertwining with this foolishness. And he also goes to say that as these have been banned, the producer, Galen Suman, also mentioned they knew that the ban could happen. So they went on ahead and did it anyway, knowing that the ban could happen. Okay, kudos. She said, we were warned that this would be likely an outcome, but we weren't going to change the film. We wanted to make just because of some countries with, for lack of better terms, backwards belief. That's what they trying to say. It's not a backwards belief. If we want to go back to the 1700s and 1600s, before the 18 and 1900s, as far as we know to go back ancestral wise, this is not a backwards belief. They believed in the divine natural order. Simple as that. Procreation with man and woman. Husband and wife, if they called it that back in the day. They just know joint commune, love, build a family, build a community. And now we got this foolishness because of someone like this. And you heard the author, the producer, Ghislaine Suman. She was aware of it. Or he, or whatever they want to call themselves. Some of you guys who might be joining in, y'all might be mad at me. Still love you. That ain't going to change, but I got to speak the truth. However, it also mentions that Shazman, an entertainment journalist who also was covering the pop culture beat, had realized that the cinema led into an entertainment journalism of this thing being so publicized that they had to speak about this because now they're seeing that anything is just being pushed out there. Now they're trying to say Uncle Snoop is scared of the LGBTQ plus community. No one should be scared. It's just a group of people with a way of sexuality. A group. Different backgrounds, different culture, different ethnic groups. A group that's trying to allow things to occur. And this is why other people out here being mad at the current president we had, we can be mad at him all day. But I'm telling you, what destruction we going through is a reset. And it's resetting everything that's going on. Hey, love, I see you on there. But my thing is, it's like this. It's sad because we shouldn't have to take time to put extra work even more into, now I gotta tell my child this ABCD. But you know what? I had to do that with mine. I had to tell my child what's right and what's wrong. I had to let her man for woman, woman for man. I taught her all of that. Her father and I taught her that. It was necessary. It was necessary because people are living in a time of confusion. People are living in a time of confusion. Instead of knowing what the real truth is. Y'all have heard me say this time and time again. You have the lie becoming the truth and the truth becoming the lie. And not just the society, in the nation, in the world. In the nation, in the world. And this has to stop. We need to bring back the truth fully. The truth shouldn't be looked upon as a lie, and a lie should not be a truth. That is the spirit of deception and manipulation. And as a key word that most people like to use, a narcissistic manner. Anyone that tells you that is okay, is correct, it's not. Now, are we perfect? No, we're not. That's a choice you made. If that's the life you decide to live, that's the life you decide to live. But just know, you can do so much good, but it doesn't mean nothing. Because what can be deemed good is still bringing in confusion, manipulation, issues that turn into problems that turn into, catastrophes, and so much more. And that is one of the reasons why the kids are going through what they're going through, because we live in a time of confusion. So as Uncle Snoop is letting us know right here, again, I ask you this. Will everyone reason with what you're putting out? Will they reason with you trying to help lead them and guide them to better themselves instead of being lackadaisy and comfortable? Will they reason with you putting out the truth that will set them free? Will they reason with you being able to guide them instead of doing the work for them? Will they reason with learning how to build together? Yes, we may not agree with each other, but come to a place where we can build together, commune together, and teach this to the next generation to come in decency and in spiritual divine order that will manifest in the physical. Again, this is something to ponder on, guys. It's something to ponder on. We need more people to really take the time and to think on this. Again, people are getting too comfortable. Too comfortable. And again, with that being said, I'm not going to hold you guys up here long, but I just know that this it's not right. It's not right. It's not right. And no parent should have to do and pick up the extra work to monitor what their children are exposed to. I can definitely use my child for example, the things that she has experienced at school or had those to approach her with it. She feels some kind of way about that. She feels some kind of way about that. But as I'm about to bring this to you before I let you guys go, because it's Friday, you got to spend time with your family. You got to love on them, take care of them, fix them some good food. Once in a while, you might cheat on some fried chicken, but still during the summertime, while the fall is getting ready to kick in, still kicking your fresh fruits and vegetables before you touch that meat. Here are other news. I'm gonna bring this out to y'all for those who don't know this, and this is still shook me. This is right in Virginia area where a Fairfax County school staff accused of secretly funding student abortion. I had mentioned this about 2-3 podcasts ago, and this it really disturbed me to hear about that. How do you do that? How do you secretly fund? How did the children even be allowed to have it? That means that you're falsified, because in order to go through the process, a parent has to be there in the presence. Yeah. So how did they falsify something like this? I don't get it. Like seriously, how did they falsify in funding and something like this at the school getting, I mean, why are the kids even being that active, sexually active? What happened to the good days where when we were growing up, for some of us who know this, because I'll be telling my age, where you could teach the children to practice safe sex. Now these days, or practice abstinence. They don't do any of that. How are the kids in the schools have someone, a teacher, help funding them secretly for abortions? Help me help that make some sense. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't. It's making you wonder, like, the system is so corrupted. There's so many loopholes. That means if they secretly fund, they might know someone that works in the clinic. You never know. You never know. They might know somebody, because for something like that, how can you get away with that? Hit that like button, subscribe, and share. For those who just chiming on in, I'm your girl, your co-host, Cynthia J, on the Cynthia J Show, holding us women accountable, not excluding the men. Coming to you with the truth, nothing but the truth, with current events and updates. I'm your birth and doula, your herbalist, and so much more. So with that being said, it makes you wonder, like, what is going on? This is why it's requested that some of these things be banned. Yes. In other states, they banned it. So now people are leaving and going to the other state just to have it. But this is in Virginia, in Fairfax County, and this is in the public school. A teacher, a teacher, a teacher. Yeah, a teacher. Y'all hear that? It's sad. It's very, very sad. Let me pull that up real quick for y'all so I can read this a little bit, because something like this should not be happening. So the last time they had this little update, but I'm going to read back a little bit from the previous, they said that the Fairfax County teachers have been helping students to obtain abortions without the knowledge and consent of their parents, according to a whistleblower who recently exposed the scandal. So that means whoever that whistleblower is, that whistleblower didn't get paid off no more. They said that now the school district is claiming they just learned of the matter, Even though the whistleblower in Centralville, or I should say Centralville High School teacher, Zanata Perez, had brought it to their attention in multiple occasions. So this has been more than once. And this is what was said. They said a supervised visitor at the Northern Virginia school where she teaches English as a second language, a high-powered lawyer investigating the allegations that Perez had made public that a school social worker, a school social worker, that's where the link is at, quote, and funded a student's, with an S, in 2021 abortion. The Clifton School District Superintendent, Michelle Reed, responded to the allegations the next day, claiming that the school system had just learned that yesterday. Now, this article goes back between the 12th and the 15th of August now. Then it states that particular Thursday, she received an email in the high school with the parents, again claiming that the district had taken immediate action to engage in external independent investigation to get all the facts. Y'all hear? We getting there. So a long time ago, to a firm for Fairfax County Public Schools, they also mentioned that nearly 3-hour interviews was done with Perez and told McGowan how she had blown the whistle 7 times about this scandal in May of 2022. May of 2022. Y'all hear that? So the school district officials were uncovering the allegation and the scandal. So my question is, if this individual had did this several times, how come this is just being handled now and it's 2025? Think about that. It's 2025. Y'all hear? So then they go to say that the teacher sent a second letter to laymen in 2022 of May. Now, Fox News is gathering this information and noted that the FCPS policy states that every effort should be made to encourage, support students suspecting pregnancies to discuss their concerns with their parents or guardians. But the policy does not mandate that their teachers inform parents about their discussion. Y'all hear that? About their discussion. Welcome, love. Welcome, love. Catch this. Even though they said that the scandal centers on 2 female students at the high school who alleged that their school officials facilitated and paid for their abort at the healthcare center without informing their parents. That is a daggone shame. To take a life that hasn't been fully developed, that chose. But my thing is, why are we allowing something like this to happen? Peace and blessings, love, for those who just chiming on in. Why are we allowing for something like this to happen? And then they said this is a violation of Virginia parental notification legislation. The WC Dispatch reported that one 17-year-old student said the social worker, and they named him, Carolina Daz, scheduled the appointment, paid the clinic fees, and swore her to secrecy. This is a daggone shame. The second student, who was 5 months pregnant, y'all hear this, the second student at Fairfax County Public School, 5 months pregnant. The first one didn't even mention how far along. This one, 5 months pregnant, also stated that Diaz informed her that she had no choice but to go through with the abort. Y'all hear that? 5 months? 5 months. By this time, the nervous system and the brain waves are already activated. Yes. Life is about to proceed fully. Lungs and everything is starting to produce. Yes. This goes also here stating the student fled the clinic shortly after. Principal Lehman approved the procedure, which was funded by taxpayers' dollars. Do y'all hear this? Am I the only one hearing this? As the topic goes again for today's discussion on everything that I'm talking about, will everyone reason with you what you're putting out? And what I'm putting out right here, this tells you you should be reasoning with your sister, because this should not have gone this far. We ain't even done yet. She told the teacher that the school had not notified her parents. Perez provided the WC Dispatch with a verified recording of the family confirming that they were not aware of the school action. The revelation prompted the question as to whether the school pushed other students to have the aborts without their parents' knowledge or consent. It went from social worker to school involved. How many people is involved in the situation besides the whistleblower? Mhm. Now they're saying to perform these procedures on minors, doctors are required to have a signature. Now we know this for some of us who are aware, a signature of at least one parent, unless a court orders a jurisdictional bypass. Neither of these were present in two of the girls' cases. This sounds like there's more, which could potentially open those involved to criminal prosecution. Now they say Perez stated that after she spoke about the issue, school administrator attempted to silence her. They pressured students to lower her into a minor policy violation administrators could use as an excuse to terminate her. Still, the teacher did not back down. The girls never wanted their abort. Her family was never told, she said. I mean, this is sad. I don't know about you. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share. For those who just chiming on in, if you get disconnected, you can follow me on YouTube at Cynthia J22, at Cynthia J22. But this is sad. And it hurts. Again, how are we as parents every day in a corrupt system? And I'm not saying, I don't even like to use the word parent, because when I hear that, I think like you pair and you renting it. You just two people renting. No, I don't even like that. As guardians, true guardians, because some people they have children and they do some things, and I understand life, it gets in the way, but some cases like this, nah. They were brought into this world, into this dimension. But for something like this, a system that wants to be so right yet so wrong. A system by state and federal want to be so right yet so wrong. Have people on these panels, on councils, in these positions with different characters walking around with these authorities, and they want you to sign documents to cover their tail, but be quick to want to send you off to jail if you do something wrong. This situation had a social worker involved, principal, other teachers, administrators, and then they talk about we didn't know. And we're reading that letters were sent out several times. Nobody did anything. A young lady that didn't want to go through it. Do you know what that could traumatize a child at that age? But yet, in their mind, they're probably saying, let yourself enjoy your life. You're just a kid. Why aren't we teaching proper sex education? Why aren't parents, hey, tell your kids, practice abstinence, no sex, talk to them every day? Granted, they still gonna probably do things behind our back or lie to us, tell us they ain't doing anything. But at least you spoke. At least you told them. Yes. They need to know. This makes no sense. Now my prayers go to the two young ladies. I hurt for them. So what I'm trying to get everyone to reason, what I'm putting out is, before we become selfish, let's think about our babies. They still babies. I don't care what the justice system say their age is. They're still babies. The justice system is just something made up by man. It's just people sitting at a desk writing on a piece of paper made from trees and some ink from the ground, just on a piece of paper. Just want control just to say anything. They don't care. They don't care. And these young ladies had to go through this. Our children, these generation, they're hurting, they're suffering. So I'm trying to reason with you brothers and sisters out there. And for those ones who do scandalous things like this, to those pedophiles and to those who think they're getting away hiding, ain't never been in trouble, trust me, your time is about to be up. Because the divine and angelic ones, the ancestors, they coming for them. Everything is about to be reset. While everybody getting so caught up in the politicking and all the other foolishness, we need to be focusing on what is going on in our community, right in your backyard. Because something like this shows it happened right in the backyard of their own home. It's happening in our backyard at our own home. So I say to you, let's keep those young girls in prayers. Let's keep the children that had been unalive at the Minnesota, Minneapolis Catholic school. Keep those parents, those guardians, in prayer. And for every child that has been unalive, let's keep their families lifted in prayer. Let's keep the missing children that they say that at one point was not missing in Virginia. Yes, they are. Pay attention. It's a trend going around now where the ice cream trucks are running around late. Late. Too daggone late. I don't know where some of you guys are from, but where I came from, the ice cream truck last round was around 7, 8 o'clock. Nothing else past that time. If it's dark, we ain't roll out there. Protect your children because they trafficking them, kidnapping them, using for traffic organs. They doing that to all of us. You don't know in this situation with the Fairfax thing if that social worker had a deal with the clinics. You and I don't know because for some people that don't know this, and you can look this up for yourself. This is a fact, documented, that when people unalive their blessings inside them, they use them for youth serum. We can sit up here and stroll on TikTok and every other thing all day, but if you ain't going on YouTube and listening to full documentaries or looking these documentaries up or going finding articles, going to the library of the archives and looking this stuff up, you don't realize how much things have been going on while we are so distracted by the foolishness that's around us. Yeah, so much. And so I'm telling y'all, with that being said, please make sure you lift those families up in prayer because it's not a game. Bad guys, let me fix that. I don't even know what just happened. Oh boy, it's always something. Give me a second, guys. Try to get it. I don't know what just happened. This is something going on here. But yeah, it's crazy. I don't know why it's doing that. Y'all bear with me. It's just doing too much. trying to fix this thing. Like my playback is doing some crazy mess. I don't even know why it's doing that. I don't know what just happened. And I'm trying to get it off here. But anyway, while I'm trying to fix this, guys, just bear with me while you're looking at my screen. I just know that we got to pray for the families. And as we are still praying for these families, let's make sure that we are paying attention to our families, that we're keeping our families covered from the foolishness. Because I'm telling y'all, all these people that's out here doing some janky stuff, let's protect the kids. To the sisters out here, be careful because they're out here swiping us too. They're out here swiping us too. It don't matter who you are. It don't matter who you are. They up here swiping us too. There you go. I don't know what happened. But I will definitely tell y'all this. Stay tuned with some more new updates and current events. And again, I apologize for those who are streaming YouTube Live. I don't know what just happened and why it did that. But again, definitely make sure that y'all chime on in every Thursday or Friday. Your girl's going to start rotating her times and days because sometimes I have to get other things done and get them out of the way. So forgive me if it doesn't always happen on Thursdays now. Sister's very busy, but make sure you chime on in when you can. So I thank you guys for chiming on in tonight. Again, y'all can follow me on all other social media platforms. Don't forget, today we was on episode 27. And again, I really enjoyed you guys tonight. Y'all end up enjoying y'all night, spend some time with y'all family. Make sure y'all safe. If y'all driving on the highway, please be safe, be watchful. Because again, people are out here driving really ridiculous and crazy. Just take your time. Spend time with your family. Love on each other. Continue to watch a good movie tonight. Be safe for the holiday weekend because there's so much, again, like I said, going on. So just make sure that y'all chime on in every Thursday or Friday, right here, Eastern Standard Time at 7 p.m. on the Cynthia J Show, holding us women accountable, not excluding the men. Again, y'all can follow me on all social media platforms as I'm putting this out there. As y'all see right there, you're going to see it says subscribe, like, and share. You can follow me on Linktree. You can also email me if you like any sponsorships or any other things that you would like to collaborate with, or for any herbs, for healing, any doula information that you would like to know. For myself and another spiritual sister of mine, we are birthing doula and postpartum doula, which is like next to a midwife. We are also spiritual healers as well. So definitely check us out when you can. You can find us on all other social media platforms. And yet again, don't be a stranger. Don't be a stranger. We welcome you guys to tune on in every week at Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Cynthia J Show, holding us women accountable, not excluding the men. So I thank y'all for chiming on in tonight. And let me go ahead and let y'all go. Peace and love and blessing.
Yeah, yeah.
My story is for you.